Hey guys, today I wanted to do an updated version of my how to naturally cure bacterial vaginosis video. A little over a year ago I made the original video, so if you're looking for an in-depth explanation of BV and a more detailed explanation of the treatment that I did, I would go check out that video. In this video I just wanted to address some common questions that I've been getting and also give you guys an update on how I've been doing since I did the treatment, and just briefly go over it again in case anybody wants a review of how to do it. So basically, you're gonna take a bowl, something that literally just a plastic bowl that you can sit in. I know that sounds really weird, but it'll make sense in a few seconds. So I had some people say that they had a hard time finding a bowl that they can fit in. You know, we all come in different shapes and sizes, so I could totally understand that. I got mine at the dollar store. It was just like a bowl, like a party bowl that you could put chips in, and I literally was in the store like holding it over my butt to see if I could fit in the bowl. It was pretty funny, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So if that doesn't work for you, if you can't find one that's big enough, you can try like a storage container, you know, like I'm not sure what they're called, but something like you would put clothes in or things to just store away, or if you're moving, that might work. I know they make the ones that are pretty low to the ground, so you can actually, it's wider but you can sit in it. That could possibly work too. I had a lot of people ask me if they could do it in a bathtub. Actually, I'll get to that later in the video. So once you find your bowl of choice, then you're going to fill it with water. If you do the smaller bowl, I would say about 5 cups of water and 2 cups of sea salt. So those are the ingredients you're gonna need. You're gonna need water and sea salt, and it could just be plain old water from the faucet. It doesn't matter. Now the water needs to be hot, not boiling to the point where if you touch it, it's gonna burn your skin, but it needs to be a little uncomfortable, because what you want is steam. You want steam to go up, down there, you know, to get rid of what's going on in there. So it needs to be hot. Just, you know, feel it out, test it out, but make sure it's higher in temperature. So if you do the smaller bowl, I would say 5 cups of water. If you do a bigger one, maybe 7 to 10. It depends. It's hard because I didn't use a bigger container like that, but just, it doesn't need to be exact measurements. These are just recommendations, but just eyeball, experiment with it, see what works for you. And then I did 2 cups of sea salt. So again, if you're doing the bigger container, maybe you want to do 3. 4 seems like a lot. I would maybe try 3, because you don't want to overdo it with the sea salt. So 2 to 3 cups of sea salt, depending on the size container that you are using. And then when you're going to mix the solution, when you have everything in there, and then you're going to sit in it. You're going to sit in it for 10 minutes. And you want to make sure that you are completely submerged down there, and just sit, relax, bring a book, magazine, your phone, whatever you want, and just relax for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, you're gonna rinse everything out. You're gonna make another solution, same exact measurements, and you're gonna sit in it for another 10 minutes. The reason for that is you wanna keep it really sanitary. You don't wanna soak in it too long, because, you know, there's fluids coming in and out. You wanna make sure everything stays clean and safe down there. So after 10 minutes, clean the bowl, whatever you're using, refill it, sit for another 10 minutes, and then you're done. So I did that twice a day for 5 days minimum. You can do a little bit longer if you need to, but usually it took 5 to 7 days for me. I did have to do the treatment a few times, but it was because, you know, I had to experiment with my body, what worked for me. I was trying different probiotics. It was a lot of things, but it did work out for me. So again, 10 minutes, clean it, another 10 minutes, twice a day, so 40 minutes total. So it's 20 minutes per session, 40 minutes a day, 5 to 7 days. Hopefully that's all it takes for you. That's all it took for me, so hopefully that works out for you. So that's basically it. That is the treatment. Again, if you want a more detailed explanation, I would check out the other video that I made about a year ago. So to address your questions, I had a lot of people ask if they could do it in a bathtub. You can. I'm not saying you can't, but the reason you use a smaller container is because you want to make the solution as concentrated as possible, because that's what's going to cure what's going on down there. That's what's going to get rid of the BV. So that's why, you know, we try to use a smaller container. So if you were to do it in a bathtub, you'd have to use a ton of sea salt. You need to use a ton of water. It just seems like a little wasteful because you could make a more concentrated solution. And I know everyone can find some kind of container that's smaller than a bathtub that they can fit in. So if you want to try it in the bathtub, go for it. It's totally up to you, but I don't recommend it because you would have to just use so much sea salt and water, obviously. But that's totally up to you. But that's why I advise people not to, because you want the solution to be as concentrated as possible. Also, another common question was, did it come back? So I believe I did the treatment when I was going through it over a year ago. I did it 3 times. It was like spread out over like 6 weeks, because after you complete it, you need to take a probiotic. Even though you get rid of it, in order to prevent BV coming back, you need to like keep your system healthy and happy. So take a probiotic. I just use a regular generic from Target or Walmart. It literally just says probiotic vitamins on it, and I'm childish, so I take the gummy bear ones. They work. I've talked to my doctor about it. They totally work. So after the 3rd time I did the treatment, I stayed on the probiotic. To this day, it has not come back. I haven't had BV again. None of the symptoms, nothing. I've seen a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, I bet you this doesn't work. I bet it's going to come back. Well, everybody's different, but in my case, it has not come back. So that is my experience, and I've had a lot of positive feedback from you guys from that video, so thank you so much, and I'm really happy that it's working out for you, and I hope that I've been able to answer all of your questions, because there have been a ton of questions, but I try to just address the most common ones, because obviously a ton of people are asking them for a reason, so I tried to get to those first. But yeah, it didn't come back for me, so as long as you take the probiotic after, you should be okay. And I say too to do the treatment for 5 to 7 days, because you may feel like the symptoms are gone, but it's still, you know, like the smell, there's less discharge, it may be going away, but there still might be a little bit of BV in there. So I know for me, like even after I noticed symptoms were gone, I did it for 2 more days at least, just to make sure everything was good. I even used a little bit less sea salt. I just wanted to be safe and make sure it was good. So yeah, those to me were the top questions. And I also had a lot of people making comments about, oh, you know, you need to go to the gynecologist, you need to have a professional tell you what to do. This isn't gonna work. Listen, let me put this out there. I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I am not here telling you all of this, giving you all this advice, saying otherwise. You know, this is just something that I researched, I experimented with, it worked for me. I'm perfectly fine, nothing crazy happened to me. So this is just my experience with it. This is for you to use at your discretion. It is a choice. There are a lot of people who look for natural remedies for their own reasons, you know. Maybe they went to the doctor, it didn't work out for them. Maybe they're just against medicine. You don't know what the case is. So if someone's looking up a natural remedy, it is with good reason. So if you don't want to take that route, you don't have to. Please feel free to disregard everything that I'm saying. But I am just putting that disclaimer out there that I am not advertising any of this information as a medical professional. This is just what worked for me in my experience through my research, and I am very, very happy with it. And I wanted to share because there could be someone out there who needs it, and clearly there were a lot of people who needed it, so I'm happy that this could help them. But anyway, guys, again, if you're new here, you didn't see the first video, I did go into more in-depth explanation. I actually show the bowl that I used. I don't have it anymore, so I can't show it now. But if you're a little confused as to how I explain the treatment in this video, check out that one because it will make a lot more sense there. But that was everything. I hope that this clarified a lot of things for you. Again, as always, if you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will try to get back to you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.